Hey everybody, have you ever felt like I'm just not sure what God can do through me? Do you struggle with self-doubt? I think God has a word for us today that's tied to the Christmas season. It comes from 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verses 6 and 7. This is what God says. For God who said, "Let light shine out of darkness," has shone in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Jesus Christ. But we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that the surpassing power belongs to God and not to us. Jars of clay were very ordinary containers back in ancient times. Think about Tupperware. And so what Paul is saying to this church in Corinth is that, hey, listen, you're just a bunch of Tupperware dishes. Like, you're ordinary. You're just jars of clay. But what matters is not the container. What matters is what the container contains. It doesn't matter what the vessel is. It matters what's inside the vessel. And he's reminding them that the treasure they have in just normal, ordinary jars of clay, that is us, the treasure that we have is the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in Jesus Christ. When the Bible uses that word light, it means revelation. That's what lights do, right? You turn them on and now you can see things. What's hidden is now revealed. Something's been revealed. What's been revealed? The glory of God. The glory of God is His worth, His weightiness, His transcendence, His holy presence, His awesomeness, just the greatness of who God is. That's His glory. And how has the glory of God been revealed? It says in Jesus Christ. The glory of God, His great worth, is shown in what we celebrate in Christmas. It's shown in the person of Jesus Christ. The glory of God is not a concept, nor is the glory of God something that only exists in heaven. The glory of God came to earth and is revealed to us in Jesus Christ. To see Jesus is to see the face of the glory of God. And we have this message that in Jesus, the glory of God has come to dwell on earth. Heaven has come to earth to make a way for us to be able to get to heaven. It's what we're celebrating the Christmas season. We're celebrating the coming of the glory of God. And we have this message. We have this message that this glorious God has come to give us the glorious gospel, the good news that Jesus has lived the life we could never live, of perfection. That Jesus gave up His perfect life and took on our sin on the cross and died in our place, and then rose to new life to prove that He truly is the glorious God, and that if we place our faith in Him, that we too shall rise to new life with Him forever. We have this glorious message, and yet we can get a lot more focused on who we need to be as the messenger. Like, oh man, I just don't know if I'm a good messenger. I don't know if I can really do this. I'm not an extraordinary person. Friends, we're not called to be extraordinary. We're called to be ordinary. Do you struggle with self-doubt? Here's what the Bible would say. Stop looking at yourself. Stop looking at the container and focus more on the message. It's like this. We see ourselves as this kind of like ordinary rock. What's the big deal? And like, man, what could I possibly give? God's like, stop looking at yourself. Stop looking at the exterior of who you are. Look at what's contained inside. Look at the beautiful crystal that is the gospel of Jesus Christ. Look at that. Proclaim not yourself. You're just ordinary. You have nothing to proclaim of yourself. Proclaim Christ and the glorious treasure that He is. Friends, don't worry about what you look like. Don't worry about what you might sound like. Just pray for opportunities to share the treasure that is Jesus Christ, because it's not about us. It's not about us. If you struggle with self-doubt, God wants to tell you it's not about you and what you can do. It's about Him and what He has done in Jesus. So proclaim Him. This Christmas season, look and pray for opportunities to share about Him. Don't focus on yourself and what you think you can do. No, you're just a jar of clay. Focus on what you contain. You contain the treasure of the glorious gospel of Jesus Christ. Friends, it's not about us, but God wants to use us to show that the surpassing power, the power of the gospel, the power that continues to bring light of the revelation of the glory of God in the face of Jesus, this power of God is what we proclaim. It's not about us, but it's about Him and how the surpassing power belongs to God. So go in that confidence and go and share this glorious gospel this Christmas season.